Well, welcome everyone. It's 10:30, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for coming out and joining us for Coffee and Conversation here for, I guess this is our Thanksgiving edition, right? So we're just really pleased to be with you. I'm Steve Lindsay. I'm the CEO at Garden Spot Communities. Steve Muller is the Chief Operations Officer, and you all know Mike. So I asked if I could be the runner today. I've been sitting, we had an early board meeting. Our board meetings for Garden Spot Communities start at 7 a.m. on a Friday morning and go till 9. So it makes it really nice because then you get done and can go on with your day. But it's a lot of sitting very early. So I'm volunteering to run the microphone and join in. Mike, do we have any announcements that we want to go through before we get started?
We have. It don't work. Did you turn it? It's green.
Yes, we do. Just a few quick items. You may have seen so far in the yellow sheet as well as on the TV screen, scrolling through, something related to an event on December 16th. So we have something that is modeled after, I'm doing this a lot, we have something that is modeled after Garden Spot's drop-in event, Christmas drop-in event. They have run that for almost a dozen years, I believe. And I was able to attend last year. There might have been a resident or two in the crowd who was there as well. It was great. Food stations throughout, festive music, just a nice evening event for residents to come, get some good and interesting food at different stations, get some desserts, some holiday drinks, and just a great event. So we are modeling that for ourselves here at Frederick Living on December 16th. We are calling it, Betsy Natter gave it a name, we are calling it Festive Flavors and Friends. And you are all cordially invited. There is no RSVP. There is no specific dress code, although holiday attire is always welcome. And we really encourage this as a resident event just to thank you and just to kind of start the holiday season off with a nice touch. So more to come on that. You'll see some information. You'll see a video from Betsy. But we wanted to make sure that that was on your radar screen. Also from Betsy, we have a U.S. News and World Report survey collection time that we are going through that ends today. We have gotten a lot of responses, and we're good to go in Aspen Village and Cedarwood and Magnolia House. And as of this morning, we're looking for 29 additional independent living residents to provide feedback. So Betsy's going to be here, and Juanita from Garden Spot's going to be here. And they're going to be politely bugging you to say, did you respond, and can we help you respond? 29 people, that's all we need, so we can get there.
It's not painful.
From a campus operations perspective, I wanted to pass the mic off to Al Vega for one quick update related to the Oak Tree Loop.
Well, good morning. The Oak Tree Loop is, they're wrapping up with their final checklist, punch list on Monday or Tuesday next week. That means all the piping and the cooling tower is done. So they're just coming over, walking in with me, making sure that everything is every knot is tight and everything is where it's supposed to be. We are still having some issues with the heating in the building. It has nothing to do with the piping, except that the control valves that they put in are brand new, and our control system is pretty old. So it's from the old system. So they're having a hard time connecting it together. They're waiting for parts right now. They just came in update right before I came in. It's probably, the parts won't, because of holiday next week with Thanksgiving, they won't probably be able to change the control system until after Thanksgiving. So they're coming in today to try to rig something up to make the system work with the all control unit. That's why if you need heat in your apartment, if you live in Oak Tree, please give us a call. We still have plenty of space heaters to hand out. We don't want anyone to get cold, especially if you have visitors during the Thanksgiving days and stuff like that. We're hoping that we could find it fixed today. They're sending a few guys, technicians, specializing in trying to connect old systems with new systems to see if they can come up with something. At least for the weekend, they're going to try to get the parts, hopefully next week, but they doubt it because of the holiday break and so on. Yeah, that's pretty much it, what I have for the oak tree.
Thank you, Al. And I would clarify some language. I would say we will not rig anything today. We will explore a short-term solution until we can find a permanent solution in place. Couldn't help it, Al, sorry. Those are all of the updates that we wanted to share. I don't know, Steve or Steve, if you guys had anything that you wanted to kick off. Otherwise, you all know the format. Open invitation for any questions, any comments, any concerns, any compliments.
And I would just say two quick things before we get started. First of all, I love the spin that you put on what is at Garden Spot Village, the holiday drop-in, which kind of sounds a little dull and vanilla. And you guys are getting Frederick's festive
Flavors and Friends.
Festive Flavors and Friends. So that sounds really, really great. The other thing just to say, with Thanksgiving coming up, we were reflecting at our board meeting this morning. The group just got back from Kenya recently. Some of your folks from Frederick Living joined some folks at Garden Spot Village and some staff and had just an amazing experience. And I was sharing with the board that I get a chance to speak to different groups around the country, and over the last number of years, thousands of folks from other organizations. Nobody else is doing anything like that. So just a wonderful time to reflect on the life that people are living at Frederick, at Garden Spot, and the opportunities to really find a sense of purpose and calling in this season of life is just truly spectacular. So we just celebrate that along with you, and are honored to be in community with a group of people that are willing to take time and energy to travel halfway around the world and love on a bunch of kids in another country. So awesome. Congratulations to those of you who participated.
Question about the new wellness body shop area. Has construction started, and when do we expect to have occupancy?
The first answer I can easily answer, no, construction has not started. Steve and I actually have a conversation with our owner's rep group right after this on specific updates. So we should have good detailed information very soon, but just not at 10:40 today.
Yeah, in fact, that was a subject at the board meeting, Frederick Living board meeting earlier this week, is kind of queuing that up. No, you can just talk right into it.
Can you tell us the status of our contract negotiations with the landscapers and the snow removal people?
I'm going to pass the mic off to Al on this one, but yes, we can provide that update.
Thank you for asking. As you all know, Ron has been our lawn care maintenance people for, I don't know, 10 years maybe. They have done a great job. And also we have Bait Landscaping that has been doing our snow removal for I don't know how many years, 3 years. So we were looking to have one company do both the snow removal and the landscaping, and so they know our facility better, and they are able to work with our staff on a more consistent basis, and the residents will get to know the same crew over and over instead of having two different crews, one in the winter, one in the summer. So after many months working together with Garden Spot campus director Ryan here, because Ryan has been here for a very long time. He knows the people, and me in the middle trying to figure things out. We decided to move everything to Bates Landscaping, so they'll be starting with the snow removal this winter and continue then onto the maintenance of the lawns in the spring and summer and fall. Just to let you know, they were just recognized as one of the top landscaping companies in the area, and it was recognized by a really high-ranking award. So that was pretty cool. That happened after the fact. I didn't know that they were that good on the landscaping side, but we also have some improvement that we are recommending to them for the snow removal. So we have a meeting in coming weeks on snow removal, because I know that in the past there were some minor issues, I guess. So we wanted to address those before the snow season starts. That's good enough? Have a question?
Yeah, the snow removal and how they put stuff down. 3 recommendations. Number 1, backing a truck up into a driveway with a conveyor on the back that's made for putting on a highway. As the truck is moving, what happens is they back up over the skirt. They're dropping heavy amounts of stuff. They back up a little further, do the same thing, and I've swept buckets of this stuff up. In fact, I stopped them from doing it. I was using 1 can to do my whole driveway the rest of the winter. The same with the sidewalks. They're holding a bucket and throwing it out, and then when they get down about a third of the way, they just throw it on the sidewalks. When we did it here ourselves, we used drop splitters for the sidewalks. We used rotated spreaders for the driveways. You use less material. You're not getting it all over the grass, okay? And this has been going on for 2 years with them, okay? So hopefully we get some of that stuff straightened out. Backing those big trucks into driveways just does not work right, and also throws the salt all over the windows and all over the grass, okay? So we did it right with Frederick here. We had 2 kinds of spreaders and did the driveways. That's faster than backing a truck in, back and forth. The same with the sidewalks. Those are 2 big things, and we overused salt all last year. Thank you.
That's good feedback, Lou, and that's certainly something that as we meet with Bates prior to any snow on the ground, that's 2 things that we will certainly bring up. And as
I
far
was going to say, you couldn't see it from where you were sitting, but Al was taking notes as you were talking, so.
and also, Lou, to just philosophically to talk about, not philosophy, but as it relates to snow removal on campus. So we've had 2 different styles in the past, let's say 5-6 years. One is we remove it ourselves, and the other is we outsource some of that work to a larger organization. The way that our team is structured at the moment, we believe it is best for operations of the building and best for the team members themselves, that is something that we outsource to an organization such as Bates. It is something that we examine, and it's something that we've looked at, thinking, hey, maybe we can make some structural changes to the team to bring work like that in-house, and that is still on the table in terms of long-term thought. It's just not something we're available to do this year, just for your all knowledge.
Well, I was one of the fortunate ones that got to travel halfway around the world to Kenya. And just to let you know, we're having a little short presentation on Tuesday, November 25th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon right here to show some of our adventures.
Thanks, Alice.
You don't want to miss it. The pictures that we saw, some of the videos that were shared, it looked like an amazing time. So really, really good stuff. So come out for that. Other questions, thoughts, comments? Things you're thankful for?
We haven't had a coffee and conversation since September? September. No.
This is November.
This is November. Oh. We haven't had a coffee and conversation in a month, right? We have had some dining changes since then, so I'm going to open that Pandora's box up a little bit. Since we have Lou here from Sodexo, we have Tom Bachacco from Sodexo, and I just want to share share the mic with him in case anything is top of mind for residents related to those items. I will share some good updates with regard to dining leadership. We have hired a general manager who is slated to begin on December 15th. As you are aware, we do have a new executive chef who started in late October, whose name is Mark Sandville. You've seen him around. We have a new chef manager whose name is Luke, and I can't remember his last name. He started today, though. So those are three important leadership positions that we have filled, and we have filled recently, and we are very pleased with the direction that we are taking on that front.
Do you want to provide any updates, Lou, or just
No, that,
You gotta get closer.
Mike spoke earlier regarding the Christmas event, Festive Flavors and Friends event. So we're working hard on that to plan it out. Some of you might have seen us walking the building, so it'll start from Arches and it'll go all the way down to the Rotunda, different stations all along the way. And as we get closer, we'll probably try to get the menu out there, what'll be at different areas, where the different stations will be located, and the menu for that evening.
And really, the way that's designed to be is just that not a heavy programming or anything like that. It really is just some great food and an opportunity to get out and mingle and connect over the holidays. It can be such a busy time that sometimes it's nice just to have an evening with some great food and spend some time with friends. So.
And even if you're an introvert, you can just get lost in the crowd, eat some good food, and go back to your own place. You know, there's no rules to this event.
Love that. Yes.
Is that instead of dinner? I mean, it's 6 o'clock, 6 to 8, do we eat dinner, and are these just desserts, or what is it?
Yeah, so the event will be from 6 to 8, and we'll be doing dinner from 4:30 to 5:30, so that we can transition into the event. So there will be dinner, but it'll be like for an hour, 4:30 to 8:30, and it'll be a limited menu for that evening. Oh, I'm sorry. The event itself will be from, the event will be from 6 to 8 o'clock, and dinner will be from 4:30 to 5:30, and it'll be a limited menu. This allows us to transition from dinner to getting the event all set up for everyone. And also, I didn't tell Mike yet, but there will also be a saxophone player who will be playing Christmas music throughout the evening.
Lou is the saxophone player.
I didn't tell him.
Oh, fantastic. So this would be my own observation from past similar type events. If you are a big eater, go ahead and get dinner first and then come out and supplement that with the different food stations that will be around. But you're thinking heavy hors d'oeuvres, kind of small plate kind of items. If
All right, so here.
Come on, Lou, up to the front.
So, starting in the arches in the dining room, there'll be a fettuccine pasta station that'll have a Parmesan wheel where they'll toss the fettuccine in the wheel to make a nice little cream sauce. By the registers, there'll be a cold beverage station and a different cheese displays. Thanks. Then as you head down into Fireside, there'll be a carving station, and that'll be turkey. Inside this room here, there'll be a buffet, and I think it's sweet and sour meatballs, vegetable egg rolls, and
Eat the microphone, Lou.
sweet and sour meatballs, vegetable egg rolls, and I think pig in a blankets. Then when you, inside Fireside by the fireplace, no, inside the bistro by the fireplace, there'll be desserts in there. There's another dessert station, I can't remember where it is. And then when you head down to the Rotunda, There'll be a cold beverage station there, and then there'll be a shrimp or short rib and cheese grits station there as well.
So you get to decide, and isn't this what? So we often say for around Garden Spot Village, we like to celebrate with food, and this is your chance to do that here at Frederick. But isn't it a great conundrum to have for an evening coming into Christmas, where like I don't know, should I eat dinner or shouldn't I? So all of these are sort of heavy hors d'oeuvres, small plates. Some of them are snack size, so to speak. You can obviously get a lot of really good food, but none of it's going to be portions on a plate where you have to sit down with a knife and fork kind of a thing. It's mostly heavy hors d'oeuvres and kind of snack size.
Well, and it's designed, as Lou indicated, to kind of draw you through the building, get to see people maybe you don't normally get to see, get to walk a little bit, talk a little bit, eat a lot, and enjoy the evening.
So one of the other fun things for us at Garden Spot, and it's not a competition, but wearing your Christmas garb, having a great Christmas sweater. We've even seen a top hat and cane come out. Sometimes you'll see a bow tie and a fancy dinner jacket come out. Those kinds of things. The fact that there's going to be music is wonderful. So festive, obviously, and I would really just encourage all of you, have fun with it. Just come out and enjoy each other's company, enjoy some good food, and mingle. And if you're not a mingler, find a place to perch, as we like to say, on the edges. People watch. You get your food, sit off to the side, perch a little bit, and just watch some Christmas festivities go by. But it'll be a lot of fun.
There's no official ugly Christmas sweater contest.
Not official, but
They play really well.
A question about, well, first I want to correct something here. There's quite a few Lou's in here, so I'm going by easygoing Lou, okay? So we don't get confused by the others.
That's already your name.
Okay, about the stations and all, we have a lot of people, single people, that are living by themselves now. And it's getting into the Christmas season, so sometimes people have visitors. Can they bring a visitor along with them if they're by themselves?
Not typically.
Typically, it's residents.
This is a kind of resident community event, and you can imagine if you open it up to visitors with that kind of a menu, you all might not get any food because it would just get overwhelmed. So this is a come spend time with your neighbors, make some new friends night.
And the best part, there's no charge.
That's right. Yes. All included.
We had the privilege of eating at the Harvest Table at Garden Spot this week. And one of the things that was absolutely wonderful was the greens that they grow in their aeroponic garden. And I was wondering if they'd be willing to share those greens with us, or if they have any left over, because they're far superior to what we have in our little plastic boxes.
So we'd love to, and let us absolutely, I'll make notes on that, and we will certainly see if we can do that. One of the challenges for it is the transportation. We've actually been challenged with that even just in Lancaster County. Years ago, we had looked at a refrigerator truck to be able to tote things just across town. But now seasonally, right now, the weather's with us. You don't have any hot afternoons to worry about where everything's gonna wilt. So let me see what we can figure out. Yeah, I wonder if we might be able to put together, I don't know how we would figure out the logistics to keep it consistent though. We harvest 2 days a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. Residents volunteer in that space and whatnot. So we kind of know what our recurring cycle is for how we're harvesting things and whatnot. But yeah, let me look into it and we'll see what we can do.
And the other comment was in the back, or we could just build one here.
Or,
So I will say we did a capital campaign when we built that one. Residents were interested in having that fresh, ultra-local produce grown on the campus, and they raised the money to build that greenhouse. So it has turned out to really be a nice benefit. So thank you for bringing that up.
I hate to get us off of the food topic, but I read in the Township News recently that the development here on Heimbach Road has been approved for 125 individual homes. That's certainly going to infect the road. But the other thing that they said was that they're going to be building a sewage plant alongside our sewage plant. And that would mean that a development that currently is feeding into our sewage plant is going to have to move over and get hooked in to the new one. Does that have any implications for us now or in the future?
So far, from what we have discussed with our attorneys, no. But with a little bit more information, we can get back to you on that specific question. What we've done so far in terms of communication with the township as well as communication with our attorney is related to our sewer plant. We have capacity for our campus now. We have capacity for growth in the future. And our plant runs well and passes all inspections generally with flying colors. And with that, we are a bit of a self-contained unit and can continue to operate and can plan to grow. If there is new information, we will certainly share it with you and with residents.
Great question. See, now everybody's thinking about all that food that is going to be coming up. Oh, there's one other. An ice cream station to boot. So, and ice cream is great because it just kind of slides down in between. And that would be homemade ice cream? We'll talk about that. TBD.
One of the things that's been really hard to deal with is the water here tastes like Clorox. And unless you use the water from the refrigerator. And the water at Garden Spot tasted fine. And I was wondering if there's some alternative way to take care of the bugs in the water besides chlorine. We had a UV lamp over our water coming into our house, which was just over the hill there.
I don't know if I can provide as clear of an answer in terms of water taste. Is there anything that you would be able to provide as far as that is concerned? I know from a treatment perspective, we go through a couple of different organizations and companies that assist us with ensuring that our water is appropriate, drinkable, etc. But in terms of taste, that one, from my knowledge base, is a little bit limited.
So just to add a little context to that, what we have done in New Holland, we have public water there, but we have some of the same issues with the taste and things. And what we've really encouraged are those tap-mounted or refrigerator-filtered means of providing good drinking water. Because we're on well water here at Frederick Living, the most affordable and efficient way to treat it for the bacteria or anything else for that well water is with the chlorine treatment. You can do UV, it's expensive, and it takes a lot more real estate to be able to do UV treatment for the kind of volume of water that we would have here. So really our encouragement would be to get a activated carbon kind of a filter, those Brita filter ones that you might, the pitcher mounted ones that you might have in your fridge, something like that. They are really good. They're very efficient. You do have to change them out. I think the suggestion is probably every 90 days or 3 months kind of a thing. You're changing those little filters. But that will get rid of all that chlorine taste. It would also remove, other detrimental things like metals and all the rest of that kind of stuff. But we do extensive, to Mike's point, extensive testing of our water here to be sure that it's safe. That was actually my background at Penn State. So my civil engineering degree was in water treatment and pumping systems, sewer treatment systems as well. And even 35 years on, however long it's been since I was in college, the most efficient and affordable water treatment systems are still the chlorine-based ones.
And the context there, as you mentioned, the folks at Garden Spot complain about the taste of the water there as well.
And that ongoing suggestion is
Yeah,
get a refrigerator filter. Yeah.
Easy going, Lou.
I've heard different amounts of how many wells we have here. I've heard 4, I've heard 3, I've heard 2. I've heard a couple of them they provide a lot of water, 50, 60 gallons a minute, from different people that worked here years ago. If we get another complex that starts drilling for that kind of homes, they're going to have to be tapping into the kind of well depth that we're in. Okay, so I don't know if there's any concern about that or not.
What I can share in terms of active wells that we utilize on our campus, we have 2 that we utilize. Both are in the depth of somewhere around 300 to 400 feet. And even the last that I was significantly engaged in understanding that was last year when we had like a drought for 2 months. And we were really checking on the water levels. Our water levels were still highly filled, even during those times of drought, to the point where the 300 and 400 foot wells were 80 to 85% full even after that long of a drought. So with that in mind, and from what we have reviewed and talked about, we don't have a significant concern that the addition of either anything on our campus or anything adjacent to us will affect that. We also have several, don't quote me on the number, I would say 3, capped wells on campus also.
I agree with what Judy was saying about the taste of the water, and probably the same issue with most of you. We have the GE filter in our refrigerator that does a good job, but it wasn't good enough for my morning coffee. So I have a 2-gallon Brita in the refrigerator, and by far and away, that Brita is the best. So maybe the least expensive for all of us, go to Costco, get a Brita unit, and we only change the filters maybe twice a year, so it's not very expensive. So just a thought.
Thanks, Joe.
I had a Brita, and it did not work well enough for me. I'm buying spring water, and it grates on me because I don't want to pay for water, but I already tried that. And I'm in Dogwood, older cottage. You can't do anything with the refrigerator.
A suggestion that you might want to consider if you switch to wine, you really won't care about the taste or care.
From water to wine, we got it all here, Lee.
I remember a New Testament story about that, right? Maybe we're on to something here. Here we go.
No, I got it big enough now. Thank you. I think that's a great idea with the upcoming friends and blah, blah, blah. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. It was, like we said, this is something that we are, we're borrowing the idea from Garden Spot. And for those of us that went last year, and for Steve and the team at Garden Spot who have been able to manage this and enjoy this for years, we're excited to bring a taste of that here. It's going to be enjoyable. I have an idea what's coming, Dan.
I think it's about time to bring up the question of our modular unit again. We haven't discussed that in about 3 months. It's still there.
It is still there. It is still not on the long-term plans of this community. So as you recall, when we, maybe a couple of coffee and conversations ago, when we reviewed some potential long-term plans that we were investigating in terms of additional independent living units on campus, the apartment complex that was on the designs went right through where that space is located. So long-term, that is going to be gone. In the short term, it is expensive to dismantle and get rid of, and there are no takers at the moment.
There's no fee associated with that modular unit still being there, is there?
There's no fee associated with it being there, but there will be pretty significant fee for the removal of it.
And part of the reason to leave it there until we do that construction is we can get better pricing on the removal of it if it's included in a larger project.
Point of curiosity, I was wondering what the status is of plans for renovating the third floor level of Oak Tree.
So, in terms of fixing drywall in the ceilings particularly that were roughed up during the installation of the new Oak Tree Loop. Those are, Al, those are either happening right now, is that what you're saying? Those are happening right now. So in the short term, the ugly patches in the ceiling that were needed to fix the loop system are, as we speak, at least starting to be fixed. So short-term renovations, yes, those are going to be taken care of. Longer-term renovations, when we talk about paint, design, furniture, similar to the first and the second floors. If we have an opportunity to make one or two of those upgrades in this fiscal year, which ends on June 30th, we will aim to do that and we will communicate that. If we are unable to do that, we will push those changes to the next fiscal year. When we were creating the capital budget for this year, our initial aim was to keep the third floor in renovations in full on the list. But what we realized was that the Oak Tree Loop project couldn't be done in a phased way, or it shouldn't be done in a phased way. So we took a majority of those funds that we were going to do this year for the third floor renovations and transferred them to the Loop project because that was the most important thing that we really had to take care of, especially before renovating the third floor. Because the last thing that we wanted was a brand spanking new, beautiful third floor area that had leaks in it that we had to fix up after there were leaks.
And if you're like me, it just slays me to have to put that much money into something you never see that isn't beautiful. So pipes or wires or all the rest, but it's necessary. So we go through that. Dan, as you were talking about that, the mobile unit out there, I was reminded, I go to a little Mennonite church in Lancaster County, and we had a meeting on Sunday after church about some new carpet and that sort of thing, and I asked about the paint color because it's kind of this peachy pink sort of paint that just makes me sleepy in the middle of every service, and nobody else had ever seen that paint color. They just thought, well, it's kind of an off-white, right? But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so thank you for continuing to help us see that mobile home unit out there as a little bit of an eyesore. We feel your pain.
This question is directed to dining services. When can we expect a new menu the menus have become so traditionally boring, as I would put it. And I was wondering if we can look forward to any changes anytime soon.
That is a great question. Let me get the microphone over here so we can get a great answer.
Okay. We're going to get through the holidays, and now that I have some support here with Mark and a few other folks, they're going to work with our new chef manager, Luke, and our new executive chef, Mark. And the base is there. It just has to get put into the system, and it takes a lot of hours to get that done. But since we have Mark here and we're building a better base and getting some more depth in the kitchen, we can start that process right after the holidays. They can start doing it. So we'll probably, I envision is doing it week by week, so we can get 1 week implemented at a time instead of trying to get all 5 weeks put into it and then implementing it. I'm envisioning us trying to do week by week to get it out there to you folks. So thank you for being patient.
One of the things I'm always reminded of is when you have a favorite restaurant in the community, there's usually 1 or 2 dishes on that menu that you really, really like, right? And every time you go there, you order that. But when you're here, you expect it to be your favorite restaurant every night of the week with variety. And so that does present some challenges. But as Lou said, we have some new talent that's arriving and some new hands to help with some of those things. And so we would anticipate seeing less than boring moving forward.
One simple fix is, could we please have a slotted spoon for serving the veggies? I end up with a plate full of water every time.
That sounds like something we can do on the near term, right? Yeah, great question, suggestion.
Yeah, I have been there since, what the heck, 9 years. These people that come around and weed whack, I went outside yesterday and I saw 4 perennials that I thought were good for the winter. Chopped down. Now, I hope they come back in the spring or I'll be one pissed off dude. Pardon my French. Because even Lou, I'm surprised he didn't say anything. They did it to him too. They do it every year. When are these people going to learn? I have a big bush out front. They never touch it. Why? Well, it's a big bush. I've seen it cut all the way down to a stub and come back really nice next year. But they don't want to touch it. So it stays there for the winter. So there's some things they don't touch and other things they just take it down. Gone.
We appreciate that. We believe with some significant conversations and a new landscape company that we're working with come the spring, that those instructions will be received well, and hopefully we won't have any of those sort of issues moving forward.
What about the water machine in the bistro? It is so contrary, and it holds up the line when people are trying to get water or get their beverages. It just does not work reliably. And now the soda machine's been out for weeks, and you can't use that option. So, you know, I try, but sometimes it's really hard to get it to work.
Lou, do you have an update on the soda machine?
When I go back, I sent down when I go back, I'm going to check my email. I sent out a rather not nice email for the 3rd time. there's representatives for Sodexo who you can email, who cut out the middle people from companies and went to Coke. And my email last night to them was, how hard is this? To get me a tracking number for 3 weeks, tell the sales rep, get in her car, and drive me the nozzles. So trust me, I'm as frustrated and really angry as you are, but I will get it resolved. And I'll go check again, and if I have to start getting on the phone and calling people, then that's what it'll take.
And as far as the water, we'll take a look at that too. Yeah, the water machine.
So Lou's working on resolving that. Lee's having another glass of wine. So. Why not, right?
It's the machine.
The machine is the issue, yeah.
It just doesn't, and I'm not the only one that has problems.
Anything else before we wrap up? Good items, good feedback. Al has a whole list of things to orient the new landscapers on. That's good. And you know, we go through these kind of things, these conversations, and all of this information that we get hopefully helps us to continue to improve the level of service that we're able to provide for all of you. So we appreciate the time that you put into this. We know it's another hour out of your month, out of your week, and your willingness to come out and help us, give us the information on what are the things that matter most is just incredibly helpful for us. So we thank you, we appreciate your time, and hope you have a most wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy.
Thank you, everyone.